So in the last video, we discussed about gender in Spanish. Like every noun has a gender, femenino or masculino. Noun, by the way, is called as sustantivo. Los sustantivos, that is nouns. So by this time, you know that we represent the masculine words by using the article el. For example, el chico, right, which means the boy, and feminine by la chica, which means the girl. So these are called as articles. This is called as definite article in English. In Spanish, we have two for two genders. Both mean the in English, but because of the gender change, there are two, el and la, right? Now, how about plurals? What are the articles for plural? So how do you say the boys in Spanish? So you say los chicos. And how do you say the girls? You say las chicas. So the articles, the definite articles in Spanish for plural are los for masculino and las for femenino. So el chico, los chicos. La chica, las chicas. So you have got full set of definite articles in Spanish. El, la, los, las. These are for singular and these are for plural. How do you know the plural form of words in Spanish? For example, el gato becomes los gatos, right? El ángel becomes los ángeles. I didn't know this for a long time. So yeah, like everybody else, I used to say Los Angeles, Los Angeles. But then when I learned Spanish, I paid attention and I realized, oh, it's not Los Angeles, it's Los Ángeles, which means, this means the angel and this means the angels, right? So yeah, it's a city of angels. So Los Ángeles. This is how you create plural forms of the words in Spanish. That is by adding s. Okay, that's not the only way to do it. This seems like English way, but that's not the only way. But these are two examples, and now we'll see the different ways or different rules to create plural forms of the words or the nouns or the sustantivos in Spanish. When the nouns end with a vowel, that is A, E, I, O, U, you add S to create the plural form. So, el libro, los libros. La ventana, which means the window. Las ventanas. So, you just add S, right, to make it plural. And obviously the article changes from el to los, la to las. So this is rule number 1. When the nouns or words which are ending in a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, you add S at the end to make the plural form. A few more examples like el chico, los chicos. La chica, which means the girl, las chicas. Sustantivos or nouns ending with a consonant, not vowel. How do you make the plural form? Instead of adding S, you add ES at the end of the noun or end of the word. For example, el doctor. The plural form is los doctores. So you added ES at the end to make the plural form. Los doctores. El color, which means the color. Los colores. La flor, which means the flower. Plural form, las flores, the flowers. So if you see, I added es at the end of the word to make the plural form. This is for the sustantivos or the nouns or the words ending with a consonant, not vowel, right? So you add es in the end to make the plural. sustantivos or the words or the nouns end with Z. In that case, you have to add CES at the end of the word to make it the plural form. For example, el pez, the fish, plural form, los peces. So you added CES instead of Z. We replaced Z with CES to make the plural form. El lápiz, that is the pencil, los lápices. So we replace Z with CES. La actriz, which means actress. So I have to replace Z with CES. So the plural form is las actrices. So right now, you know these three rules. You're good with like majority of the nouns. Mayoría de los sustantivos. Pero hay excepciones. There are exceptions, which we'll learn as we go along. Now, there was this strange thing that I observed when I was attending Spanish classes. So our nuestra profesora, she used to come to class and she used to call us chicos. Hang on a second. So there were girls in class and boys. So it's not like they were just boys. So why was she calling us chicos? That's because in Spanish, if you have a group of objects with mixed gender, for example, if you have one gato, that is one cat, plus two gatas and two female cats, right? Collectively, when you have to call them collectively, right, you'll still say tres gatos. So when you collectively call a group of objects or people or animals or things with mixed gender, you always use the masculine gender, right? So one gato plus two gatas, like un gato y dos gatas. You will call them as tres gatos. So that is why in the class there were a few chicas, there were a few chicos, but when our professor or professora had to call us collectively, she used to say chicos because masculine collectively, right? So you got that rule? So we talked about definite article, that is el, la, los, las, right? What about indefinite articles? For example, in English we say a floor, a boy, a girl, an elephant, something like that. So in Spanish we also have indefinite articles. For example, for el we use un. For la we says una. For los, unos y las, unas. So I'll give you an example of this. Un chico, a boy. El chico, the boy. Una chica, a girl. La chica, the girl. The girl. Los libros, the books. Unos libros, some books or few books. Las maletas, the suitcases. Unas maletas, few suitcases or some suitcases. So this is indefinite articles. Un, una, unos y unas, which means a or some. Like in case of plural we say some. For examples, unas flores, which means some flowers, right? So you got this? So these are called as definite articles and these are called as indefinite articles in Spanish, right? English equivalent of these four is the, right? And English equivalent of these are a or an, right? So whenever we use a or an, we use these according to gender, again in Spanish. Un, unos for masculine, una, unas for feminine. And whenever you use definite article in English, we use el, la, los, las, depending on gender and whether it's singular or plural. In next video, we'll talk about some vocabulary actually, because you need to know more things, more words. So that's what we're going to do next, vocabulary. See you in the next video.